Welcome back to Retro Gadget Man, everybody. I'm your host Frank, and thank you for joining me. Can you believe it's been almost 40 years since Return of the Jedi hit our cinema screens back in 1983? I myself was just 8 years old, and in fact I didn't see any of the original trilogy at the cinema, not until 1997 when they did the special editions. Back in the 80s I had to watch them on VHS, I think it was. We hired them from the video rental store. But the bonus side of that was you could watch them over and over again until you had to return them the next day. And to celebrate the 40-year anniversary of Return of the Jedi hitting our screens, Hasbro has re-released, or released shall I say, 6 of the original figures from the original Kenner line. These 6 here are actually originals from the 80s. I bought these myself over the last couple of years. They were all missing their accessories. I've had to buy all the accessories separately because inevitably they always ended up getting lost, didn't they? And it's these 6 here that Kenner is going to recreate for us, or have recreated. What they've actually done is they've actually taken moulds from the original figures. They've done this now for quite a few figures. In fact, I think we've got about 25 now of the original 95. I think it was available between 1977 and 1985. And fingers crossed, hopefully, as time goes on, we'll get all 95 figures re-released on brand new on card backs, because to buy them today in today's money will cost an absolute fortune. As time went on back in the 80s, around 1985, interest in the Star Wars trilogy dwindled. There was no new films on the horizon, sadly, which is a shame, isn't it, really? If only they'd have done all 9 movies back in the 80s, imagine how good they would have been. But there was no new films on the horizon back then, so as I say, interest started to dwindle, and they started not selling as well. In fact, there's reports out there of toy manufacturers just dumping them all in landfill somewhere. So the last kind of 10 or 15, I think it was, were quite hard to get hold of because of this, because nobody wanted them. In fact, I've seen examples on eBay have stickers on from stores back in 85 that say just £1.59, which is unbelievable, isn't it, really? This is wave 6, or this will be wave 6. I open up in a bit. That Hasbro has done. The first wave they did, I think, was around 2019, and that was A New Hope. Did 6 figures from that, along with a separate Luke Skywalker you get in a board game, which wasn't identical to the original one. He had his visor down on the re-release, so you couldn't see his eyes. And wave 2 was from Empire Strikes Back. Again, the board game figure that came, figure number 7, was Grand Moff Tarkin, I think, which wasn't actually available in the original run, strangely enough. And then since then, we've had a couple of I think it's Mandalorian and a Boba Fett run of figures, and then we had the Obi-Wan Kenobi run of figures, all in the vintage Kenner style. And now we've got Return of the Jedi coming out, which I've bought, I'm pleased to say. I'm dying to open them up. I've had them here about a week. So we'll be opening up in a moment to compare to these to see what they look like. I hope I'm not disappointed. I've seen quite a few mixed reviews on them, but I'd like to make my own mind up and have a look at them myself before I start judging what they're going to be like. So we'll do that next. Okay, so I've got them here in the box ready to open. I've actually had these for just over a week now, so I'm really eager to get these open. But just before I do that, here are a couple of reminders of what we've already had. This is from Wave 2, I think I remember rightly, Empire Strikes Back. I think these came out from nearly 2 years ago now. These are quite nice figures, and the detailing is good. They look very close to the originals. One thing I've mentioned in previous videos, if you watch them, is these are in a blister inside. Originally, the original figures came loose, and the gun was just taped inside. And you also get all these instructions now inside, which is rather annoying, along with the Create Effect card, which I don't really like. Some people have actually coloured that in and removed the Retro Collection sticker. I'm not going to bother doing anything like that. I'm obviously leave them as they are. So now that we've seen those, let's get this open. I'm dying to see what they look like. Hopefully I won't be disappointed. Some people have complained about the thickness of the card back. I bought these directly from Hasbro Pulse. In the past I've gone to supermarkets, I think it was to get Wave 2 and 3 and 4, and Wave 1 I had to get from eBay because they'd sold out by the time I got into this. So let's open it up and have a look. Unpack them now. Those. There we go. Do one at a time. Wow. There we go. That's the first one. Lando Calrissian Skiff Guard disguise. That looks very nice. I love the way the helmet's separate from the actual main blister. Got your staff there. Again, the instruction leaflet. I can see what they mean now about the card back. It is very thin. Yeah, that is very thin. Just get one of the other ones back. Yeah, this is thicker. It's hard to tell looking at it, but it definitely feels thicker on wave 2. I notice as well, we've got a different effect around the edge where the others are all identical. There was no difference really. Oh, there is a little bit of a difference. But I think I've got quite a few of them are actually the same. And of course these Return of the Jedi ones have got the 40-year anniversary logo on. Because as I mentioned before, it's the 40-year anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So that's the first one, Lando Calrissian. There we go, it's Han Solo. And Endor gear. Now, I haven't seen these since about 1983-84. So it's been a very long time. It's ever so strange seeing them again like this. Obviously I only have very, very vivid, very distant memories of seeing these. I can only just about remember them. I remember looking at them all in the shops thinking, wow, I'd love to own all those. And the Emperor. Now that looks really good. It looks quite shiny actually. I'll do a comparison because I've got the original figures and I'll show you that at the end, what how they compare to the originals. I really don't like these backings. I was hoping they'd put pictures of other figures that have already been out, as they did originally. So I think we're into the nearly the 30s now, the original figures. There we are, the Biker Scout. It's ever so strange seeing him pure white because I think my original one is starting to look a bit yellowed. Got his blaster in there. Interestingly, these seem to be going for more money than the others so far. If you look on Amazon and eBay. Princess Leia and Bosch disguise. Again, the helmet's separate. I love that. I'm not sure if it was on the original actually. Obviously, I can't remember that far back. I'll have to have a look on Google. Google it afterwards. It's got a staff there. Well, it's actually a gun, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's quite a common figure actually if you're looking for them second hand now. But she's nearly always missing a helmet and a staff. And last but not least, Luke Skywalker. His Jedi outfit. Got his cape at the back there. Looks like the same cloth, same fabric as the original. And he's got his lightsaber and a blaster. Well, that looks just like the original, but we won't know until I compare it to the originals at the moment. Yeah, so there you have it. The cards are a little bit bent, aren't they? Look at that. Not very impressed with that at all. Shows how thin they are. I mean, these have been stuck in a box. Maybe after a while they'll straighten themselves out. So next up then we'll compare them to the originals and see how they look. Well, and here they are all lined up with the originals, and I must say I'm quite impressed with them. They look very close. In fact, it's hard to tell the difference with some of them. Lando Calrissian looks absolutely amazing. The Emperor figure looks a little bit shiny, a little bit glossy. But apart from that, I'm really pleased with them actually. They've turned out really good. The only disappointing thing, as I mentioned before, is the card backs. They're very, very flimsy compared to the first couple of waves that they did. And there's no peg supports at the back either. There's no bit of plastic there to help them stop them from tearing on the pegs when they're in the stores. They've still gone along with this weird rough looking edge, trying to make it look retro looking. I have seen some people actually colour those in and remove the stickers, but I won't be going to those lengths. I can't see the point of that really. Yeah, a little bit of a different video for me because usually it's all about gadgets. As some of you know, I do like my retro toys as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that with me. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll be seeing you. And if you did enjoy watching this video, you may want to take a look at some of my other videos on similar themes. I'm always buying something on eBay, some old piece of technology, and trying to repair it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.